This girl is so poor, she saw her parents being killed but could not do anything about it. What's even more hateful is that the villains didn't even leave her alone. She was trapped in the cabin of a Greek slave and at the mercy of others. 10 years later, she became seriously ill and was abandoned on the street to fend for herself. But she was not meant to die, and just when she was on the verge of death, a Persian messenger saved her. From then on, Artemisia vowed that she would turn it into ashes when she returned to Greece. She was gifted and diligent and under the careful training of the Persian Empire. Her swordplay was unstoppable. She won every battle with tenacity and success, and even Darius of the Persian kingdom was proud of her. She was promoted to a high rank. This gave her the power to take revenge. 10 years later, the famous Marathon battle was fought. Darius crossed the Sea of Love with an army of 100,000 men and attempted to land on the plain of Marathon to break up the Greek city-states in one fell swoop. Before they landed, they met with stubborn resistance from Athenian soldiers. They had been sailing for months and were already too exhausted to fight again. The hero of Athens, Themistocles, was a fearless man. He killed his way out, and Darius looked at each other. Darius was confident and unconcerned with his enemies. Themistocles took advantage of the situation and raised his bow to shoot an arrow, which hit Darius. Darius was badly wounded and had to withdraw his army. He recalled all his generals and ministers, the most powerful of whom was the commander of the navy, Artemisia. Because of her great achievements in battle, Darius favored her. On his deathbed, Darius told them not to set foot in Greece again, because only the gods can fight with them. After the death of Darius, Prince Xerxes was crushed by grief and became cowardly. Thus, Artemisia was given the chance to take power. She told Xerxes that since only the gods could defeat the Greeks, she would make Xerxes king of the gods. Artemisia gathered all the priests and tantric of the empire, wrapped Xerxes in an ancient elixir, and sent him wandering into the desert. Xerxes becomes delirious from the heat and dehydration, and inadvertently, he arrives at a mysterious cave. It is said that this is the darkest corner of the world. In the darkness of nothingness, Xerxes gave himself over to the forces of darkness. When he resurfaced, all of Xerxes' humanity had been erased. His eyes shone as if they were charcoal black scarlet. He was hollowed out and washed, smooth and flat. Since then, he has become an evil god. Meanwhile, Artemisia no longer trusts anyone and secretly kills all of Xerxes' cronies. She wanted to take control of the Persian Empire. When Xerxes appeared before his people in the name of the divine king, Artemisia's carefully manipulated plan finally came to fruition.
For glory's sake, for vengeance' sake, war!
And so began an epic battle. Xerxes himself led an army of 1,000,000 men vowing to crush Greece. They were divided in two ways. Xerxes led the army toward the land. Artemisia led the navy across the Sea of Love to Athens. Thus, the Greek Confederation was once again in a life and death situation. However, the long period of comfort had corrupted the counselors, and the council refused to send troops because of the holiday. So there was the story of the 300 Spartan warriors against the 300,000 strong army of the Persian Empire. On the other hand, Artemisia's powerful navy also approached Athens near the Aegean Sea. Therefore, the Athenian hero Themistocles came forward, and he and Artemisia launched a heart-stopping naval battle of the century. A group of Greek warships appeared in huge waves, blocking her huge fleet. Artemisia ordered them to disperse them, but she never expected it to be a trap. The Greek fleet had already discovered their weaknesses. The Persian ships were large and had strong bows but were also fragile because of their size, while the Greek vessels were the opposite. They were small, agile, and highly maneuverable. They quickly changed course to avoid a head-on collision and then threw their long hairs, forcing the Persian warships into the trap. The next second, the Persian warships were attacked by the Greek warships. Without exception, they were cut off and sunk to the bottom of the sea. Artemisia had never been defeated before and defeated so badly. To win later, she kills the chicken to scare the monkeys and sinks the army's commander into the bottom of the sea. Immediately afterward, she sends her strongest commanders to avenge their shame. This time they cleverly avoided the storm. But to their surprise, the Greeks hid in the mist, and the Persians were in hot pursuit. They were tricked again and collided with the rocks. In the fog, the ships behind did not have time to react and also collided. Meanwhile, the Greeks swarmed up and made a knife move from the air, ending the battle easily. Artemisia was so disappointed that she decided to take matters into her own hands. She invited Torqules on board to make peace. Artemisia expressed her admiration for Torqules' ability, and in her eyes, Torqules was the king of the world's oceans, but Torqules' ships would not last a week. Given his bravery, she was willing to give him a chance if he would join her. Not only would Torqules lead the world's largest navy, but she would also be able to linger with her. The generous offer was too good to refuse, so the two played poker fiercely, but Artemisia did not expect it, and afterward, Torqules refused to join her, an act of deception that enraged Artemisia. She immediately dispatched the big killer's hell tanker. The reason why it became a hell tanker, in addition to its unbeatable and huge size, the most important point is that it is filled with crude oil, the nemesis of the fleet at sea. Artemisia sends out its deadly men to ensure that nothing can go wrong. They swam head-on to Torqules' ship with oil packs on their backs. Seeing this, Torqules immediately ordered a retreat, but it was too late. The soldiers threw the fire into the sea. The next second, the sea was like hell on earth, with flames raging in the sky. In the confusion, they tried to shoot the soldiers to stop them, but they accidentally lit a fire and the flames spread quickly like a fire dragon to the oil tankers. With a loud bang, the cold sea turned into a sea of fire. At the same time, the dead soldiers crawled over. In the midst of the chaos, Artemisia draws a bow and shoots an arrow to detonate the oil pack successfully. With a loud bang, the Greek fleet was blown up and destroyed. Just then, the traitor brought back the bad news that the hot springs pass had failed to be defended. Xerxes is stepping on the bodies of Athenians to Athens, but this did not frighten Torqules. He said that the sacrifice of the Spartans was not a defeat but a beautiful honor. Their sacrifice would promote the unity of the Greek city-states. He told the traitor to tell Xerxes he would gather all his ships and fight to the death in the Bay of Salamis. At the Battle of the Hot Springs, the traitors betrayed the Spartan warriors, and they all were lost. From then on, no one could stand up to Xerxes. He led his army to Athens and burned the city to the ground. But instead of disintegrating because of the fall of Athens, the Greek Federation became more united. Their strong fleet is gathering. The blood of heroes is bound to roll up the waves. On the other hand, Xerxes is riding high, sipping a little wine and nibbling on a chicken leg, enjoying the joy of victory. Just then, the hunchback brings back the news of the Greek rally. Xerxes is amazed that anyone in Greece would dare to confront him. The hunchback said it was Torqules. A sight of Artemisia instantly not calm, not realizing that the ruthless Torqules is still alive. She immediately decides to send troops to besiege. This was unwise, and Xerxes called her back. Xerxes tells her to send her troops first to ensure it's not a trap. But Torqules had hurt her feelings. She now only wants revenge and won't listen to his advice. The two argue over this, but once a powerful woman gets caught up in her feelings, she loses her mind. She sets out on a path of revenge to put an end to the Greek fleet once and for all. She will drive the Greek fleet to extinction, then celebrate over the corpses of the Greeks and trample the head of Torqules under her feet. A great battle is about to take place. Torqules leads the ships into the enemy and fights them to the death. Torqules rides his horse through the enemy line. Artemisia and Torqules go into single combat mode. 300 rounds of the battle between the two were fought in a flash of lightning. In the end, the battle was a draw, but neither of them wanted to kill the other. As the saying goes, a one-night stand is good, and Artemisia invites Torqules to join her again, but Torqules would rather die than be a slave. Just as the two stands at a standstill, the battle takes a turn for the worse. Reinforcements from the Greek Federation arrive from all sides. As a result, the Persian fleet is surrounded. Torqules took the opportunity to subdue Artemisia, but he did not want to kill her either. He gives Artemisia two choices. You can either row your ship and escape or lead your army and surrender. But how could Artemisia submit to the Greeks? So she chose to die an honorable in battle. With the arrival of the Greek allies, the whole movie ends at random.